and essentially a non-variance application other than the lot width, which does not, again, impact at all the site layout or anything. And again, the Collier's letter, very minor comments that, again, we're prepared to address, and again, we'll continue to work with the fire department. And okay, if you look at all of those areas, no issues with essentially what they say.
Thank you, Mr. Hale. And as we discussed, just for the record and for everyone to know, the planning board caucused earlier today, and I think one of the concerns that we wanted to do, that we have, is that we just simply would rather do it all in once instead of doing the presentations piecemeal. That's just a preference that the board normally has here, and that's why we asked that today's presentation be really more of an opening statement type of a thing instead of the Q&A, the direct examination, everything else, because like I said, we just feel more comfortable if this was done at the same time instead of piecemeal.
I get it. As I've indicated, with all due respect, I can't
No,
consent to that, but I have, obviously no control over what the board does, and we're prepared and ready, willing, and able to proceed.
And as usual, you're representing your clients in the best way possible, and I do respect that, Mr. Hale.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Lieberman, would you like to address the board?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. My name is Stuart Lieberman. I'm from the firm Lieberman, Blecker, and Sinkovich, and it's a pleasure to see you. And I'm sorry. And I represent the Larchmont Estate Civic Association. I've got a bunch of my clients over here. They're very concerned about this application. First of all, it is not a variance-free application. It's not the biggest variance in the world, but there is a variance that's required. And it's not a hardship variance because there's already a structure on this property. So this is already a property that has a structure, could be used, could be utilized. The variance doesn't have to be granted. But my clients are concerned about this project because it's so out of character with their neighborhood. This is a single-family neighborhood, and to have this kind of development where so much is being crammed into a very small space is really just going to destroy, or it's going to cause a lot of harm to the neighborhood. This application is not ready to go, and I do appreciate that the board isn't going to go because the plans have to be redone. The fire department is not happy with this application. They want the roof to be raised. That's not minor. And they have an indoor garage. That might be the only way the fire trucks are going to be able to fight this fire. When you read the fire department report, they don't have access to the extremities of this project. And one of the concerns that the fire chief had was, how are we going to fight this thing on Morris Avenue? We're going to put trucks on Morris Avenue during rush hour? So the fire department's very concerned about this. I really appreciate that we're going to see the devil in the details and if it can be done. The wires need to be moved. The fire chief is completely adamant that these wires have to be removed because he's concerned, and I know the board's going to be concerned, that you can't get the apparatus in there with those wires. That's the concern. So we really have a lot of concerns about this application. It's out of character. The variance should not be granted, and I look forward to discussing that with you when you hear it. I would ask that it not go in the next meeting. I would ask that it go at the next meeting. I have long-standing vacation plans in Europe during your next meeting.
Well, having dealt with Mr. Hale on a number of occasions on scheduling, I'm sure that you and Mr. Hale and the planning board attorney can work that out.
But I think you need to know tonight for notice. That's my only concern.
Well, I can't, we're not ready to give a new date right now, other than the date in September that you and I talked about. We're not there yet. We're just not.
What I would suggest is perhaps it be carried without further notice to the September meeting, and then we will speak to the board attorney and to Mr. Lieberman, and if we need to, from that date, to go to another date. Again, not consenting, but we'll work.
I appreciate
that.
That's very courteous of you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
And also,
And I did want to, just two other things. Again, this was carried on previous occasions without the requirement of further notice. I know it's the one variance, everything's been covered in that. We did request, and I know I spoke to the board attorney, that that if Mr. Lieberman is representing certain people, they can certainly at the end of the case make their comments, but the cross-examination would be limited to Mr. Lieberman.
right, I think that's the best way to do it, because we don't, as you're both lawyers and you're both trained on cross-examining, and the public really, frankly, isn't.
Yeah, I don't
So-
mind that. I don't mind that. Mike, I asked your attorney before how you're going to handle that because different boards handle that differently. I certainly
Yeah.
don't mind cross-examining, but they might want to make comments. And my question's going to be, do you want me to call them individually, or can they go up if they
Well,
make comments?
yeah,
They should be
they'll have the
able to-
opportunity for public comments. That will happen. That's at the end. Before we reach the public comments section, we have direct examination and cross-examination of the witnesses. And it's
And
just been I'm sorry?
Yeah, and then that would be done by
Right.
Mr. Lee.
It's just been our experience that having the lawyers do the cross-examining and direct is just much more efficient, and it's easier because, you know how, and we have a recording device here, and sometimes it's not uncommon for the cross-examiner and the witness to be talking over each other. And,
Would never happen here.
no.
Would never happen.
Also, if you could just make sure that your clients, who I see are all here, we do have a form of order here, and we abide by it, and one of the things that we have to abide by, and we respect both of your sides.
Your mic's off. The mic's dead.
We have to be fair to both sides, and so we give everyone a fair shake when it comes to making their presentations, okay? And just so that you're all aware of that, okay?
I'm sure you do, and I appreciate that.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Steve?
So again, just for the purposes of the record, this would be carried without further notice. I believe the date is September 26th at
It is.
7 o'clock.
That's the day, yeah.
Again, no further notice, but if we need to appear, if it's not going to go ahead on that night, and we'll speak, then we would appear that evening and just confirm what the next date is, so we don't have to renotice again.
That's terrific. Thank you very much for your courtesy.
Okay.
That's
Thank you
very
both.
nice of you. I appreciate
All right.
that.
Thank you all.
Mr. Hale, thank you.
So
Mr. Lieberman,
I
thank
don't
you.
know
We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Yes. Enjoy your vacation, sir.
if we want to just announce and confirm about it being carried.
Yeah, we'll do a motion for it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Hear a motion that application 2024-04, after caucusing with the lawyers, would be carried to either the next planning board meeting or a specially scheduled planning board meeting. Can I have a motion, please?
I just want to confirm the date that.
26th.
So it would be September 26th,
Right.
7 o'clock in this room without the requirement of further notice. If another date is scheduled after that, it would be announced at that meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay?
Is that okay?
All right. All right, can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Alexander? Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mr. Lee?
Yes.
Ms. Espinoza? Yes. Mr. Miller?
Yes.
Committeeman Bowser? Yes. Mr. Frame?
Yes.
Chairman Johnston?
Yes. Okay, gentlemen, thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, with that said, there is no more new business. I'll take a motion that the planning board meeting be adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you.